Good day and welcome back to our channel, A Whole Lot of BS.
Welcome. If you don't already know, my name's Bree, and this is my mom, Dr. Suzanne Sniggs-Wilson. And today we have Mr. Trey Park sitting next to me, which is my fiance. But just a couple more things about him my mom will introduce.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining. Trey Park is an entrepreneur and sales professional based in Ontario, Canada. With a background in economics and financial management, he has built a strong track record in high performance sales, earning six figures while balancing full-time work and university. His experience spans automotive sales, digital marketing, and client acquisition. Trey is developing ventures in fintech, lead generation, and personal branding. He is driven by a passion for growth and impact. Trey uses his platform to inspire others to think bigger, take control of their finances, and build scalable systems for success. I am so proud he is my son-in-law to be, Mr. Trey Park. Welcome today.
Thank you guys so much. No, it's been a long time coming.
For sure. For sure. We're
I'm really
excited.
excited to be here today.
Thank you. Thank you. We're talking about relationships because part of our podcast is about mother-daughter relationships. And we thought it would be a good idea to have you on the show, Trey, because you're also very good at building relationships. So when we think about building relationships, what is the foundation of a healthy relationship that you can think of?
Absolutely. Well, at the end of the day, a relationship is between two or multiple people, meaning that everyone has a part to play. So starting with communication, making sure that you can easily communicate with somebody, understand them is really huge. Getting a background of who they are, things that they might need in order to actually scale a good relationship with you is the biggest thing that I've found. It really helps if somebody is easy to work with as well. And I found that the pillars of it, communication, understanding, making sure you understand, where your middle ground is. Where the conversations come from, right? What are some things that appeal to them, things that appeal to you? And where do you guys have that middle ground is huge.
I'm hearing communication as a key aspect. I love that middle ground because we don't usually find people staying in that middle ground. There's that far right, far left. It's all me. It's not about you. So we're playing to win for each other, not from a selfish perspective. What are your thoughts?
I have to agree with what he says, obviously.
Why?
Well, because I have a ring on my finger, so obviously whatever he's doing is working. I guess at the end of the day, whatever we're doing is working as well, right? I love that Trey does talk about like the foundation of a relationship is communication. And we always say the one saying like love is built. Yes, you can love someone, you can be attracted to someone at the beginning, but attraction only gets you so far. The way that they show you love is what matters the most. You're building that relationship where someone's learning to trust you by what you're communicating to them. Again, you can have a big advertisement of, hey, this is what I can do for you. But at the end of the day, rapport
The rapport
that
is
you
what-
build that matters. So I think that Trey's probably very successful in the way that he has relationships with a lot of different people, not just our relationship in general, because a lot of those skills that he learns, they're easily used in every different aspect, right? But I would like to ask a question of my own, because we talk about communication, right? And what role do you think communication plays in your relationship with me or in your relationships in general for on a business or a professional standpoint?
Communication, a lot of the times people think that means like you talking or you expressing yourself, but what it really means is like actually understanding what the person is saying to you as well, right? Letting them speak, being the last person to speak is not a bad thing at all. Hearing them out, understanding how they feel, and then flip it and try to understand what their perspective looks like. A lot of the times I feel people have a hard time like seeing stuff from other people's perspectives, right? Like how could what I've said actually hurt that person? How do they feel in that moment? How would I feel if that person said that to me? So having that understanding it's huge, even from a business perspective. When two people in the business have two conflicting like understandings or ideologies, how do you see it from that person's perspective?
We talk about the golden rule, treating others the way I want to be treated. I think the platinum rule is treating others the way they want to be treated. So usually it's not about me, it's about you. And to be able to listen, to understand, and then find out, like you said, what the root cause is allow us to have a better connection and when we're communicating with each other. So well said.
Absolutely. And I feel like as well where when it comes to like treating other people the way that they want to be treated,
Mm-hmm.
even if somebody is not treating you like the way that you want to be treated, making sure that I would say it's unconditional, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that you're going to treat that person that way no matter if they are treating you bad,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not doing it necessarily just for them. It's who you are too. And that shows a lot. It's like you don't treat somebody one way because they treat you one way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's where I guess the concept of unconditional love comes into play.
Yeah.
Because there will be times in your relationship where, you guys have your ups and downs and, where you'll be at a 80%, where they'll be at a 20%. But the biggest thing is treating that person with all that love is so essential, no matter where you are in that kind of roller coaster of life. So,
Yeah, absolutely. So, Trey, when we think about disagreements, I mean,
mhm.
people who are listening to this will say, yeah, that's fine and dandy. But then when there's a disagreement, how do we deal with that? How do you handle disagreements?
Absolutely. And that's one thing I feel like we've come a long way for as well. When it comes to having disagreements with one another, I can kind of formulate it as that is making sure that again, that other person feels heard, right? Understanding where they're coming from. Why are they upset? What's the cause of the upsetness? What's the principle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that we've done that really helped us is really expressing that, or it's like, you made me feel this way, and this is why,
Mm-hmm.
right? What are we going to do to work together? And looking at as not a problem against a problem, it's how do we solve this problem as a cohesive? How do we solve it together? Us attacking the problem versus us attacking each other is a big,
Mm-hmm.
big, big thing. So the best way to do that is again, talking about it, understanding, okay, can I understand where she's coming from? She's mad at me because of XYZ. Do I see that from her perspective?
Perspective.
And then after that side is done, can she see it then from my perspective, right? Because we want to make sure that both people get over and it's not just one side,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. We also found that there was the saying, again, I'm all about the sayings, right? It's the sayings that stick and click. And I find that one saying that really stayed was you can't solve a problem in the same mindset that you started the problem in. So if you started a problem or something, agreement came about in anger, you
Mm-hmm.
can't solve it still in anger. Learning how to come down from that angry state of mind and moving into a like you're not necessarily happy, you're not super sad, but you're just in the middle ground of like, oh, there's something, it's a little bit dark and clouded, but we can see a little bit better than in that anger, hot, burning stage. And I think that's a huge thing where it's like sometimes you need to take a second to just, okay, let's breathe a second. What happened?
Digesting is huge,
Digesting.
right? Understanding, okay, like, we're heated in the moment, but then you take a second. Okay, this is a problem that we need to solve together, all right? So how do we go about that? And breathing with each other. Okay, let's take a second here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we vowed to, never go to sleep upset with one another.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that's really helped us to grow, I guess, as a pair and making sure like if we are about to go to sleep, we're having that conversation, right? Before it doesn't matter how tired you are, doesn't matter how upset you are, all right? Making sure you have that conversation and settle it then before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
You
Next
know,
day,
yeah,
it's worse.
it's even worse.
Yeah.
You go to
If
sleep.
there's a next day.
Exactly.
If there
That's
is a
the
next
next thing.
day, exactly. We're living on borrowed time at the end of the day.
What I'm hearing is a lot of what I call EQ. And you know that in many cases, people talk about IQ, which is all about the brain, your intelligence. And it really speaks to not so much experience, but, what you've learned, your knowledge, your functional knowledge. Emotional coping allows you to look at experiences and include that into your relationship. I do feel sometimes people bring a lot of baggage.
Mhm.
So, when things happen, you can respond based on the experience you've had in the past and bring the old perspective into the new situation. What I'm hearing you're talking about, and you're coming from young eyes, virgin eyes, I would say, that, let's take a minute, let's breathe, let's understand what's the root cause that's causing this to happen, and let's talk it out. So very well put, I must say. I find for a young couple, you guys are very mature in the way you're thinking and the way you're approaching life. So what advice would you give young people about choosing the right partner?
Ooh, okay, I like that. That's a great question. I feel like you build the right partner. That's the biggest thing. Everyone tries to go out and tries to find the right person. And honestly, in today's society, it's a lot of the times what that person looks like. But again, it's like how far do looks really go? Because when you're, 100 years old, for example, right? The looks fade, right? That person internally should always look the same to you, right? That's huge. So understanding that, okay, who are they on the inside is huge. And so ask those questions, get to the deep understanding through all the beauty and everything like that. Who is that person? Like, do they love their parents, right? Do they love their family? Are they giving and caring? Do they follow God? What are your morals that you follow and what's going to make that person always look the same to you is huge, I find. And when it comes to solving things, not being prideful, one of the seven deadly sins, right? We always about it. And we all have pride in us, right? It's very hard to overcome, but that is huge if you're looking at sustaining a relationship. Because yeah, you can have pride with your friends and stuff like that or whatever it may be. But when it comes to your, real relationship and someone you're looking to spend the rest of your life with, being prideful is detrimental to your relationship, I find,
Mhm.
right? I feel this way about something. You feel this way about something. But who's gonna put their nose down first, right? Like who's gonna okay, let's have a conversation. And, I'm not saying that it won't happen, but making sure that you work together with it, where if it's one person that's being that way, you come to that person. Okay, let's have a conversation. It might be, oh no, yes, we're gonna have a conversation. Let's situate this, making sure that we both understand each other here.
Someone said in another um, podcast that I actually listened to, they said that I can really tell how you see yourself by the partner that you chose. Because it's true. Have you not seen people amazing? They got so many good things going for them, but then they're with a partner who, as bad as it sounds, uses them mentally, physically, emotionally. It's what we chose for ourselves. And I don't want to say it's what we chose and what we thought we deserved, but that's 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 how people look at it at the end of the day, right? What would you like for your mom or your father or daughter or your son to see in a partner and how they treat you? And is that how you would want to be treated? If it's not, and if that's not what that partner is going to give, then probably not the right person for you at the end of the day. Again, other people deserve all different types of things, right? Like, um, I can't speak for everyone else, right? But I know that when you think about self-worth and things like that, you can feel your value through your partner as well. And I think that's a huge thing that people forget about.
Yeah, I totally agree. In terms
Yeah,
of how you see yourself and your self-worth is how you expect people to treat you.
Mhm.
hmm Well
exactly.
said.
You need your partner to treat you the way that you see yourself, right? And making sure that they understand that worth that you provide is huge. And that I feel like that's a huge building block as well, where it's like, Bree sees potential in me, it helps me, project and go farther. If I see potential in her, like she believes in herself a lot more too. Like you guys are, building blocks for each other. It's like Lego pieces, I essentially say.
Iron sharpens iron.
Exactly.
If we're getting biblical.
And that's good. And you guys are a spiritual couple as well. I know you do go to church regularly, and there is that faith in a higher being. Do you
Mhm.
think that having a faith in a higher being, whether it's God, do you think that helps with building strong relationships?
1000%.
Oh,
Like I
yeah.
feel like having God at the center of your relationship helps you project away farther too. Like one thing that we do every night is praying, reading our affirmations as well. And then honestly, just building a closer relationship with God, even like not only in our relationship, but separately as well. It helps us come together as a cohesive because we have a better understanding of like who he is and, you know, what he cares about and, having conversations even, right? Talking to him. It's huge.
And how he loves is a big thing. I find that a lot of people say that like the number one thing it talks about in the Bible is love, right? It's about giving love, showing love as well in our religion, Jesus came down and he showed love to everyone despite what he got back, right? And that's the hardest form of like emotion or the highest form of love that you can give is when someone's not loving you you're still giving love at the end of the day, right? So I think it's showing love, pushing the kingdom forward. That was a main thing in the Bible. How do we get over arguments? How do we push forward our love? We learn about the Bible. We learn about the teachings that they taught us. And at the end of the day, like whatever you absorb is what you out. Absorbing all of that knowledge from what it says in the Bible to then portray it out to someone else or even the world in general, I think is a huge thing.
I guess living by example. You're a believer and you believe in a higher being, you believe in God or Jesus, then how are you expressing that belief as you go around daily in the world?
When they say, "Oh, you're a believer," or "I walk as a Christian," right? I want people to see that versus then have to guess that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if I say I'm a Christian, but then people are looking at me like, "Are we okay?" I feel that you really want people to see, yeah, she's definitely someone that walks in Christ, or he's definitely someone that walks in Christ, just based on the aura and the energy that you bring, friendships and family and relationships, marriages, things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
But so coming to a conclusion, our biggest question
Biggest question.
is
Yeah.
because we talk about relationships and we talk about how they start and we talk about choosing the right partner and we talk about the challenges that you go through in a relationship, but no one really likes to talk about how when it starts to get simple
Yeah.
and I don't want to say boring, but some people cause in relationships and in marriages, right? People tend to get quote unquote bored, right?
Complacent.
Complacent. What would you say is a main driver to keep growing the relationship, especially over time when things, you don't get into as many arguments and everything's flowing smoothly? Like smoothly is great and dandy, but how do you keep growing from there?
What I would say is things that you have put in place, for example, right? So making sure that you're still getting out and going for dates and keeping things exciting is huge. We are people that love to do fun things, right? So what age we are, we're going to want to continue to do that. So what we have set up is every week we'll go out and do a date night. Doesn't matter what it is, but getting out, like going playing mini golf or going to Toronto or, going on vacation, things that make sure to like keep things entertaining, making sure that you have that same type of spark and, love that you had at the beginning of your relationship. Another thing that also helps would be reflecting back on, like what times were before as well. Like thinking about your memories. Look how far you've come. Those are other things that help you understand this is my person, right? If you're ever having doubts and things like that, understanding where you've came from and, the memories that you've created, the people that you've created, your kids and things like that. Look what you've built together.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not only a relationship, it's a building block for yourself as well, right? We're both living this life for the first time, right? And this is who you chose to be a part of your journey. If you bought flowers at the beginning of your relationship, making sure that you're still buying flowers every once in a while. Your consistency is huge, right? You're opening the door at the beginning of the relationship, making sure that you carry that throughout, right? You don't want to see that person think you're going in reverse. You should always holding the door open for your significant other, telling them that they're beautiful, like things like that. Yeah, we look at it and it's like, it's small, right? But throughout the relationship, it starts to decrease. People stop doing things that they used to do. I want to tell you from, men to other men or other women, whoever your significant other is, making sure that you're always showing that love. Making people as individuals, you love to be desired. And that's a huge thing. So making sure your significant other feels desired, making sure they desire you, that's huge. So that's one thing I would say to keep your relationship growing is being who you were before and continually growing with each other is huge.
I totally agree. I've been married for, it's close to 29 years now that we've been married. Time has gone by so quickly. And looking forward, you think 30, 40, 50 years. Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
Time goes by quickly. And I agree with you. Finding ways to reignite the spark, going on date nights are important. Spending time with each other, sending flowers, planning surprises, those sort of things, because you are right. Human nature, you want to be desirable. And so what does that look like? As the relationship grows. What I like about you two as well is you're always looking for new and exciting ways to drum up business. I mean, that is still, a good thing. I mean, you've got your roles and you've got your substantive roles, but you're also doing side hustles and so forth, and just keep it flowing in a way that encourages growth, learning, collaboration, which is important. And even this week, we're learning in the past few weeks, actually, we've been learning new things about technology and so forth. So those things definitely adds more content to a marriage, more spice to relationships. And I think they do go a long way for sure.
What I've been seeing over my life is you and daddy's marriage, right? And
Mhm.
so I always like to tell people, yeah, mom and my dad, man, they can party, they can go out and be out to all hours of the day. It's your best friend at the end of the day, right? So it's just funny how you say that we're always looking for things to do and going on new dates and so on and so forth. I think you and daddy take the cake for that one because there's times where you guys will call us and we're ready to go to sleep and you guys are like, what are you doing?
The Bible speaks to that is evenly yoked.
Yes.
So, if you have relationships where you don't have to be exactly the same, but to be able to complement each other is definitely a vital aspect
Oh, yeah.
of any relationship. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I see it's about that time. We certainly want to thank you so much, Trey, for
Absolutely.
joining us on the show today. Relationships is not an easy topic, so we definitely have put you on the spot. It
Not
speaks
at all.
to your character and the fact that you must really love Rihanna to come on the show.
Absolutely. There's just one thing that I wanted to add before we leave
Please
today
do.
is that I find a lot of the times we do everything that we can to get the girl or
Mhm.
get the man or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, it's keeping that person. So making sure that you keep a flirtatious energy and, love that you showed at the beginning, making sure that you throw it throughout. That's all I wanted to say there.
Excellent.
The final note.
Final note. Well, thank you guys. Really appreciate you, and may you go in peace and blessings.
We'll
Absolutely.
talk later, mommy.
Okay,
Love you.
take care. Love you.
Bye.
Bye bye.